Let's shift gears, guys, real quick. We got to talk about LeBron James. This man is on the verge of breaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record for scoring. You know the LeBron lovers. This is going to be another feather in their cap to say he's the GOAT, that he's better than MJ. Now that he's the number one scorer in NBA history. K-Walk, I know that I don't know that there's anything LeBron can do. If he won 3 straight titles starting now, I don't think there's anything he could do to pass MJ in your book. So I'm gonna let you think about it for a minute, K-Walk. And Britt, I'm gonna come to you because LeBron might be a little bit more of your generation. You saw MJ, but sort of the tail end of MJ. Mm-hmm. As LeBron passes Kareem, Britt, does this make his case stronger to be the GOAT? Will he be the greatest of all time?
No, not in my opinion. Now, look, remember, we had this conversation. So in the younger generations, they may say, I don't know MJ. I don't know whoever else. So he is my GOAT. Or I don't know
Kareem.
LeBron. KD is my GOAT. Right, exactly. So, no. And the reason why I say no is you're talking about the greatest of all time. Most people say Michael Jordan. A lot of people say LeBron. Correct? It's usually those two for the most part.
Yeah.
Nobody really says Kareem. Kareem had that record for over 30 years, guys. He held that record for over 30 years as a center. Exactly. So he is not the primary ball handler. He is not passing the ball to himself. He is getting the ball passed to him, and he has to make things happen in the post, which is not an easy thing to do, especially when people collapse down on you in the paint. Oh, and do we not forget he also has 6 rings. LeBron has how many rings?
4.
So he has 4. He's about to have the record. Kareem has 6, and he held the record for over 30 years, and a lot of people don't consider him to be the GOAT. So in my opinion, I'm going to say no. No, because clearly to me, that's still not enough to do it if Kareem was never considered the GOAT. So I'm going to keep it in MJ's hand. Now, MJ's hands, but now somebody may be 12, more than half my age, and they may tell me otherwise. But in my opinion, no.
Yeah, look, it's a fair point. I mean, we never have looked at the scoring list before and said, oh, Kareem's the GOAT. Karl Malone, he's second. Like, we never used that list before to decide who we thought the best player in the league was. Hey, Walk, I know it's MJ for you. So let me frame it a little different. LeBron's going to be the leading scorer in NBA history. I think he's going to be second in assist, 4 NBA championships. There's no denying how good of a basketball player he is. Is there anything LeBron can do from now until he's finished playing, in your eyes, to pass MJ, or is MJ undisputed no matter what happens?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I think MJ's that guy. I don't think LeBron could pass him because that too. You could throw that in there too, Britt. 6-0 in the NBA Finals, 6-time NBA MVP. I don't look at the numbers. What I do is I look at the body of work and the way he performed on the court. That's what I look. I mean, I just look at him as a pure basketball player, as an athlete. I know LeBron. People want to say, well, LeBron's 6'9". He runs faster than, he's quicker than a hiccup. Things of that nature. I mean, we get all that. But I mean, I see when I watch MJ, just the way he went about the game and the moves that he made, things of that nature. You could throw the numbers in there as well. Then let me ask you this question. So since he's going to surpass Kareem, let me ask you this, guys. Is last night we watched Tom Brady, and we mentioned he's skipping rocks. Does that change the fact that he's the GOAT? Does that change your mind that he's still the GOAT? No. It's as bad as he looked. He looks. So flipping that, I'm going to say LeBron, just as good as your numbers are and as good as you look, you're still not the GOAT in my opinion. I just don't think that the numbers matter in this point. And to me, anyway, we can compare the numbers, but the fact of the matter is you play 20 years. You came in the league at the age of 17, 18. Mike came in after his junior year. He, he after his second year, he broke his foot, so he lost the majority of that. Then he, took the year and a half off the retirement. Yep. I mean, if MJ would have played longer, and he would have he'll probably been the all-time leading scorer if he really wanted to do that. So that's not even an argument there. Anyway, I think anyone who is as good as LeBron, and I'm not putting LeBron down, brother. If you're watching him, not knocking you, but I just think that the body of work and looking at MJ, athlete to athlete, basketball player to basketball player, just the things that he did, the way he looked on the court, some of the moves that he made, or a lot of the moves that he made, I just don't see that in your game. I just see that you're just a bull running with a basketball and just trying to just be a bully. That's all I'm just looking at right now. So MJ's my guy. I don't care what LeBron does. He can win 3 more, play till 50, and MJ will always be my GOAT.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Britt.
I'm sorry, Jay. I got another point to make with that. I could go along with what K Walker saying because MJ dominated, not just on the court, but mentally. He dominated. He was in people's heads. Like he owns a lot of real estate in his opposing players' heads. LeBron didn't have that necessarily. Like people looked at his size, but I don't think LeBron put fear. Like MJ put fear in the opposition. Like, and you heard people say that in their interviews. I did not. I woke up to that. Right. I did not want to play him. I had to play him. I didn't want to. The only reason why I played him was because it was in my contract. I had no choice. So it was just mentally. There's a big difference. Mentally, Jordan was figuring it out right there with the Bulls organization. He wasn't going anywhere else. He was going to figure out right there. He was like, no, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm going to stay. We're going to figure out here. Mentally, fourth quarter, when it's time to close the game, last 2 minutes of the game, who's got the ball in his hand? Jordan. This is Jordan's game. LeBron's a little bit different when it comes to that. He wants to dish it off to the D-Wades. Even the last game, he allowed Russell Westbrook. Granted, he's 38 years old, but Russell Westbrook to take over. And that's been like that throughout his entire career. I love LeBron James. I have respect for LeBron James, but it's just different when it comes to Michael Jordan. And here's another thing I want to say about that scoring record. I'm sorry, Jay, because I know you got to go. How many years did Kareem play in college? 4, something like that?
Yeah, 4.
4 years in college.
4.
So that's 4 less years. Mm-hmm. 4 less years. Or he was older when he came into the league, right? Yeah. And then when was the 3-point line invented? 1979, something like that. He's a center. He's not shooting threes.
Yeah.
And he had the scoring record for over 30 years. It took LeBron with threes and twos and free throws to pass almost 20 years to pass Kareem. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point about the mental part. I agree with that 100%. And K-Walk, you're right. I mean, numbers only tell part of the story. It's longevity, it's style of play. I think we're watching an NBA right now where it's never been easier to score, ever. I mean, we got guys getting 50 every single night. So I think that factors into it as well. But you're right, K-Walk. Like my eyes tell me when I watch the two of those guys play. Like if you just dropped somebody here from another planet and said, "Watch those two guys, who's better?" My eyes tell me that Jordan is better. So I agree. I don't think that just breaking the scoring title automatically puts you as the GOAT. For me, it's MJ, and I think it's always going to be MJ.